same thing. So kids are almost graduating college in December.
Yeah.
So exciting time. Congrats everyone who's going to graduate. Great achievement. You get to join the adult world. Woohoo. Woohoo. Yay. You get to be broke.
You seem very thrilled about the adult world.
You know, I have a love-hate relationship with it. I love the weekends. I hate Monday through Friday.
Yeah.
My bad.
Yeah, majority of the time I hate it.
No, but I hate Monday through Friday from like 8:30 to 5. That's when I hate it.
Oh, okay.
Other than that, I love it. But congrats to everyone who does. But I have an idea of like talking about this because some people hate college. Some people absolutely hate it. As someone I know in this podcast, absolutely hated the academic part of college.
I wonder who that was.
I don't know who that was.
Yeah,
it wasn't me because I'm going back to school.
Yeah, you dumbass.
Nerd. Yeah, you know, I'm the one laughing now until 2 months from now. Then I won't be laughing anymore.
Literally the first.
We'll be the ones. We'll be the ones laughing.
Guys, I regret my decision.
Right.
Get me
the first
out
time
of
we
here.
The first time we get back on this, you got the house class. I'm like, no.
You wouldn't even get on. You're like, no, just no.
Just no. I just don't want. You're gonna be like, we're gonna talk about Brian today. Nope, no, we're not talking about Brian today. Brian's in the corner crying already.
Yeah, because you're international
Brian
global
has a 10-page paper.
Class. You're taking marketing.
It's like
thing.
It's like international global precautions or something, something like that.
Yeah. Because you're just gonna enjoy that class.
Oh, that sounds great. You know, don't worry. I'm gonna be on Tuesday nights. I'm gonna be crying in the corner of my closet, drinking a bottle of gin.
Anyway,
anyway, a lot of people hate it. This is just a friend Jeff does.
That's who it was.
But I personally,
I did know.
So I personally have mixed feelings about college because I think gen eds are pointless. Completely think they're pointless. Because for me personally, I was a communications major with public relations, but it was more of a background in business, which is why I'm going to marketing for my master's. But I had to take an oceanography class. Why did I need to know about oceanography? Also, can I tell you one thing I learned because it was online and I cheated on every single exam? I'm telling that right now.
Good job.
Same.
Couldn't tell you a single thing about what I learned. I didn't learn anything. But I think gen eds are pointless. Most of them, if not all of them, because I don't need to spend 2 years in my college taking these music classes, science classes. Now, if you're in that major, important.
That makes sense. But if you're a communications PR major, what are you doing?
No point.
You're literally wasting your time and money sitting in that class, what, 3 times a week?
3 times a week, 2 times a
week.
week.
You could be taking something more important and everything like that. I have my own thoughts and opinions. I'm going to wait till it's my turn, but I'll let you finish.
So I think that's part of academics I didn't like because I didn't want to take these classes. I personally think as we saw, when I transferred, I was taking the classes I did really well in when I had a 3.5. It was the classes I wanted to take. It was advertising, marketing. It was theory. It was communication theory, business theory. Like I enjoyed my classes.
Conspiracy theory.
So conspiracy theory. I enjoyed my classes and I did really well. I didn't take classes I wanted. My GPA suffered.
Yeah.
So I think academically that's the reason why. But I also think, so I know some people hate this aspect. They don't like how social it is sometimes. But I personally found myself progressing through life due to the social aspect. Yes, I did my academics. I did well. I graduated. I was doing what I needed to do in classes. On the outside of that, I thought my engagement socially is what really brought me to find out who I personally was. I learned a lot about myself through college, through the 4.5 years, 5 years, whatever I did. Don't remember.
That's what's hard. I learned a lot about through this.
Yeah, I learned a lot about myself, not just because I went out with friends and stuff like that. But I made a lot of friends. I made mistakes. I learned from them outside the academic programs.
You learn from other people's mistakes.
People. I know a lot of people who hated college and who thought it was a sham. It was just a systematic way of the government of getting us to do something and put money into a program. So I want to get your guys' opinion on that because I personally didn't hate college. I didn't love it, but I didn't hate it and I enjoyed it. I enjoyed my 5 years, honestly.
Yeah. I mean, I know what I'm getting ready to say. I don't know, Whitmer, do you want to go first or do you want me to go first?
Sure, I'll go first.
The Whitman.
Welcome to the show.
Jeff's things to be like this short. He'd be like, all
right, that's
and done.
Oh, it's going to be really long because he did go on broadcasting, so he tends to go in spiels.
That is true.
But
I want to hear your opinion.
Because Brian and I were talking about this a little bit before the podcast, and yeah, I didn't love college, but didn't hate it either. And for me, I had the similar kind of thing with Brian, where it's like socially and all that it just makes you learn more about who you are. And also, it's, for me, a test before you hit to adulthood, like full adulthood. Because when you go to college, depending on what you're doing, if I'm saying like when you're actually at college versus, if you're commuting, doing that stuff. But even then, it's like you're on your own for the first time. You got to make your own decisions. That's why the gen eds, I agree in that they're pointless. But if you go into college, because realistically, I didn't really know too much of what I want to go into. Gen eds in that aspect, depending on after like that first year, we can start deciding what classes you want to take. You're like, oh, that class seems interesting. That class seems interesting. Then that kind of gets your interest of, oh, maybe this is a field I actually want to go down because that's interesting to me. So for that aspect, I liked college. Socially, I liked college in that aspect too, because it just had you branched out more than you had to. Obviously, you can drink, so that's a good reason, and especially when you're younger, like we were, that's the more appropriate time to get your crazy face out, drink all day and all night or whatever your pleasure is.
You do you.
Yeah, you do you. But I approve your decisions, but drink responsibly.
Or don't.
I like it, Whitmer. Attaboy.
Or don't drink responsibly.
Mm-hmm.
At freshman Brian.
Oh, yeah.
No, everyone drink. If you're gonna drink responsibly.
Yes. It's like alcohol ads. They're trying to make you drink, but drink responsibly.
Yeah. Drink responsibly. Do good.
Yes, but also let you know what your tolerance is. You can then at that point can tolerate more alcohol, in my sense, as you get further into college than when you first get in or whatever. And even as I get older, my tolerance to alcohol is still going up, but that's just thanks to 2020 and being in shutdown.
I was staying
COVID.
away from that aspect. I was trying to actually be helpful and to stay away from the alcoholic process of it.
I know, but that's still a good portion of it. And that's where some of the fun. That's where some of the fun and the college experience is. Yeah. I know that, but I'm just saying in general that kind of.
Jeff.
He's laughing.
I just found that really funny.
What?
Are you laughing at me because I vomited everywhere in Abby's house and I talked about alcohol tolerance?
Partially, yeah.
I'm so confused on why just laughing.
No, it's just because again, I feel like we help break Whitmer out of it, more out of his shell by drinking more and more with him throughout college and everything. But just like the more we drank with him, the more he actually began to drink everything. It's like, oh, we're seeing the effects of what Whitmer is like on alcohol.
I was trying to make this part of the podcast more helpful.
No, I know, but
I went out and drank. And I got home from a class and got blacked out.
I'm just laughing. I'm sorry. Anyway,
I am not going to a master's program, so master's programs don't have to worry about that. I already got done my years. I had to do, and actually just because of language, but that was it. I hated that.
Well, that wasn't even your fault, though. That was the university's.
Yeah, it was the professor and that whole situation.
Or the professor, yeah.
Yeah.
I was trying to be supportive and helpful for once.
Yeah, for once, yeah.
But I'm going to go back to that, and that it just teaches you how to be adult. And similar to that, you learn from your mistakes. So those moments when you drink one too many times, like, okay.
This is why we don't do this.
Yes. And like, okay, maybe then you kind of like reevaluate yourself a little bit on what you want to do, who you are, just what you are as a person. Yeah, the academics of it, yeah, they can be a pain in the ass, especially when you get to the. Okay, I lost you guys. You guys are.
No, I don't know. I'm listening. I don't know why he's.
No, I'm laughing
laughing
because of your reaction. Like, dude, anytime that you start laughing and I make eye contact with you, I literally just because again, the way you laugh sometimes, I lose it because of the way you laugh. Because certain things are so funny that you just start laughing, and it makes me laugh even more.
So you're laughing at something else, but then he was laughing, so that made you laugh even more. I'm just trying to
Basically,
honestly, I don't know why he's on.
honestly,
I'm sorry.
dude,
When I was
it's
listening,
been a
I
long
don't know why
day.
he was
I
laughing.
started being poignant there, and he was still laughing. Okay, it doesn't matter if I'm being
Honestly,
poignant and
All right,
confident or
ignore me. Continue.
I don't know why. I don't know why he was
so I
laughing.
can get my turn done.
I don't know why he was laughing. When I was listening,
Yeah,
he said it was very
the
important to help me
schooling-
through the adulthood.
yeah, but the schooling aspect of it is a pain in the ass. And my brothers actually were having this conversation, not this
Yeah.
exact conversation, but that conversation of, oh Jesus,
What did he do?
I don't know. We just started laughing again.
I'm not gonna lie. I didn't even notice because I have a game like a little box blocking his screen, so I can't see him because I know it's gonna make me laugh. That's why I have his picture blocked. Oh, he did.
I'm
All right,
sorry.
Whitmer,
Oh
go
God!
ahead.
Thank God we're called the Underachievers podcast. God
Yeah,
damn.
all right, we're underachieving.
Sorry.
Right. See, this is what I'm talking about. When he's losing it like this, I mean, really losing it. How can you not laugh?
I'm sorry.
All right, Brian. I'm
All right.
putting the box back in front of your picture so I can't see your face.
All right, I'm
Whitmer,
cool now.
go ahead.
I'm cool now. Cool.
But
No, you're not.
like I was
I'm
saying,
not, but it's cool.
this is something I was talking about to Brian before we got on. Still, Jesus.
See when he does that stupid freaking giggle? That's what makes me lose it.
You just little helium there. Your voice just kind of went a little up there, Jeff.
I know.
I try to make myself stop laughing, and then it comes out like a squeak. I just kind of squeak when I try to keep myself from laughing, and it just happens, and then I lose it. I'm sorry. I'm cool. I'm cool.
squeaked?
Oh my God, we're
Jeff.
never gonna get done with this
I'm
podcast.
blocking, I'm blocking Jeff. I can't see him.
See, that's what I'm doing. All right, Whitmer, go ahead.
I'm actually crying.
In this podcast, he's not drunk. The last podcast he was. So.
Oh, I was. Yeah, I don't. I'll be honest. That night I blacked out that night.
Yeah, we know. You were
All right,
telling us
Whitmer,
the
my
next
kitchen
day.
floor.
Go
All
ahead.
right, one more. Go. One more. Finish.
The responsible one here. But as I was saying, my brother Matt and Mitch were kind of having this discussion, and that they found college to be kind of pointless because they felt they learned more in high school than they did in college itself. And that maybe in a sense of that is just the high school we went to, just the way they taught and the way you learned from that made you know a little more for when you actually went to college. So maybe that was why, and why some classes seemed easier, some classes seemed harder. College is different than high school, obviously. If you don't want to go to class, you don't have to go to class.
No,
that's
exactly.
That's on you.
One's stopping you.
The professors won't care.
On you.
Yeah.
No.
They'll allow like 3 unexcused absences before that affects your grade, but after then,
like they give you some,
leeway.
leniency. Yeah.
Thank you. I can't think of the word. Leniency, and before they start just marking absent, and it affects your grade. And again, in high school, the only way you're
there were some classes. If you had a professor like this, I know I've had a couple professors like this where if you just didn't go to class, a lot of your grade at the end of the year or end of the semester, if you weren't there, a lot of the times attendance counted for a good portion of your grade.
Oh yeah, no, like there's some classes like 20-25%. It's crazy. Absolutely. That's such a great point. Whitmer.
Yeah, but that's just my thinking, because it does. And even when you get out of college, it's not any easier. You're still going to say, why am I doing this? Why is this a thing? It's just adulthood. It's just training you just before you get out there.
An actual responsible adult.
That's actually
a great point.
Yeah. And obviously, as you grow older as an adult and, get a little more wiser, more mature, whatever.
Yeah.
Mature.
There you go. Mature.
In
air quotes.
I'm just saying in general.
Yeah, we're not mature.
Yeah. But as you grow older, even as you go through your 20s and everything, you're just learning more of life, of what you get out of it. So that's
absolutely.
a little bit you get in that in college. You get a little taste of what that's like. The college itself, the classes, that can be a pain in the ass. Sure. I can completely get that. I don't know. I would never compare it to jail or anything like that, like your friend did, or prison, whatever she said. But
Yeah.
Oh my God.
She was just saying on like the end of like it's very like systematic on how everyone wants us to go to college and how it's very tiered or segmented to what we need to do and what you want to do.
You can say that about a lot of things too.
Yeah.
That you have to do, but you don't want to do, but you have to.
Yeah, but she was saying that because she just graduated, so
right.
It was on her mind. So.
But that was the reason why I brought up the drinking part is just that's where not all the fun, but a good portion of the fun happens when you're there. The more memorable moments that you look back, like, okay, that was a funny moment. Maybe it wasn't a bright part, but if you can laugh at yourself like me, that was a fun moment.
I had a lot of fun. I went to Chick-fil-A about once or twice a week with my roommates.
There you go. We literally did a trivia night like every Tuesday. It was just fun. We just get, it was like half price wings. I get like a drink or two, but it was fun. We won free shots once because one team cheated during it. That was.
I think I like those nights.
But we got third.
Better than the nights I went out though. I like those nights better than when I went out because
for sure, yeah.
Like when I would get back from class with friends, we'd go to the bar close to us and just be like just the roommates or just a couple of us.
But those are the moments those are the moments I was like, those are the enjoyable moments. Sure. If you had like a quad or something like that and you just said, hey, it's nice out, let's just hang out here, do work out here. Like those memorable moments. Those are the moments in college that I liked the most. That's where I end. For sure. Jeff, you can take over whatever you want to say about college left.
And honestly, you guys bring up both some huge points that I definitely was thinking about before, but really want to touch on again in my part. So anyone who knows me, I didn't really like college at all. It's because honestly, so before I went to my to East Stroudsburg and everything, I actually did some summer classes through like a summer program for ESC. I'm not gonna lie.
Same.
That was
did that
actually
with Bloomsburg.
Yeah, and that was, I'm not gonna lie, that was actually one of the most fun, one of the best experiences I could have ever had. But also too, it was honestly such a huge moment because what was it, like a couple weeks after we graduated from high school, I was already packed up and ready to go to college. And and it was kind of a good news, bad news situation. So like the good news was that I actually didn't have I had a roommate, but I technically didn't have a roommate because he commuted. So like 95% because everyone ended up getting roommates and whatever. But my roommate, he commuted, so the only time he really ever crash share was like if he drank too much or just like just didn't feel like going home or whatever.
Oh, that's like.
And he's like, oh hey, like, do you mind if I crash? I'm like, you're my roommate, sure. Like it's your bed, I don't care. But so like it was definitely a very different, eye-opening experience for me. And one of the best parts about that summer program is there was 102 of us, I think, that were in that summer program. And at first, people knew each other from high school and everything like that. And then before we know it, not even like it was a very accelerated program. 2 weeks in, oh my God, like everyone, like all 102 of us knew every single person in that program. We clicked so well that no matter where you went, it's like, oh, hey, like, how's it going? Good. No one was sitting by themselves. Everyone was all together, chilling, doing their own thing. And by the time the actual college, freshman year entered, literally like the first day I was on campus with my good buddy Nick, and who I roomed with freshman year and senior year. And I went up and out of nowhere, like, there's like 5-10 people from the program. I was like, hey, how's it going? Hey, how's it going? He's like, dude, how do you know everyone? I was like, literally summer program. There's like 100 of us there. We all just became real good friends and real close. And some I'm still really good friends with today. So that was such an eye-opening experience right off the bat. But also like the first thing I want to bring up that you mentioned, Whitmer, is you really have to kind of figure things out on your own. Again, you've got to come up with there's no one there to tell you, oh, like, you got to go to class. Like no one's stopping you. If you don't feel like going to class, no one's stopping you. You don't have a parent or a brother or
no one's making your meals. No one's doing anything.
Exactly. So it's on you to figure it out. And that was one of the best parts. I came up with, and luckily there's only 3 classes I had that summer. So I had a really good system down. I knew when my classes were. I had everything written down, and I did really well that semester actually. And so it was such a great experience. The part of college I didn't like was just the academics. Brian, what you mentioned with gen eds. As you guys know, I was a broadcasting major, and all I wanted to
I didn't know that.
go to school for, all I wanted to go to school for it was broadcasting, communications, radio, anything like that. And I was, my first in my freshman year, I had a history class, and I was like, I mean, I get it, history is important, but it's like I'm a communications major. How is this going to, in broadcasting? How is this going to help me further down the road when I'm learning about like what was a U.S. American history kind of thing, and or something, whatever it was. I don't even, but it's like, I kind of found a point was, I still went to class and tried to do well. It's just, history is not one of my strong suits. But same thing with I think junior year, there was some kind of science class, and science isn't my strong suit either. But I thought it was like, because I think I had to at least take a certain amount of courses or whatever. And I was like, well, why? I don't want to be here in this course. I hate this, subject in general. It's not something of interest to me. Like, I hate the fact that I didn't have a choice really, and I had to really, sit there and just be able to pass the class just because I needed the credits and whatnot, and it sucked. And those are the aspects I really hated about it. But overall, like academically, it wasn't, I didn't do the best. But socially wise, I loved it. I was always hanging out with people from the summer program. I was part of the radio station all for years, and I did a lot of broadcasting and everything. And I made a lot of really good friends who I'm also really good friends with today on the radio station on campus, and got to hang out with them all the time. Got to hang out at the actual radio station, and I would do my homework there and just kind of chill and relax and whatnot. And it was such a great experience. And again, it really helps you mature, just being able to live on your own, being able to experience all sorts of things, the good, the bad. And again, that's for you to work out. You have your friends and, professors to, help you through some things like, like, especially if you're struggling, like you're never really alone. Like you have your, especially the friends that you made there, or even if you have good professors who, you can talk to and really get their support on. You can just
but
be
sometimes when you meet with your professor, your friends in a group chat talk about an imaginary animal. Jeff remembers the conversation. Brian does not.
It was not imaginary animal.
What, it wasn't? No. What was it then, Jeff?
It was an elephant or a giraffe.
Got it.
Brian,
I don't remember this conversation whatsoever. No,
so it was a group chat between the three of us. Whitmer, you were meeting with your advisor,
I was
not even your professor.
I was meeting with my advisor to go over like classes.
And out of nowhere, randomly, Brian, we were talking about two like giraffes or something like that, named like George and something else.
Oh, I was in my media law class. I remember this. I was in my media law class because what I did in that class a lot was I would look up like exotic animals online. And I wouldn't buy one. And I found a baby giraffe for like $3,000. I'm like, yo, I want one.
Yeah, then you had Jeff wanting to buy you a $3,000 giraffe, right?
Yeah, I did. Mm-hmm. Never did.
Anyway.
And meanwhile, while this is happening, I'm meeting with my professor. My phone going off every 2 seconds. Pretty sure you could hear it, but
Hey, I agree with Jeff though. Making I agree with Jeff. Like making it the friends thing is like the social aspect.
And kind of finding your group, because everyone, for the most part, no matter who you were, whether you're again, kind of similar with high school, whether you're an athlete or whether you're a musician, anything like that, everyone kind of found their own unique groups that they found. Like basically, it was like almost a lot of the same people, like kind of meshed well together enough where it's like you help support one another. Like you all had something in common. Like again, like my friends with the radio station, we all wanted to do something broadcasting or sports broadcasting. So,
I would even back that up with saying like something like one of my closest friends. He's a car person. Like I like cars, but I'm not like an engine. He likes mechanics. He likes all that. I've never been friends with anybody who liked that. I never was in high school, but I'm going to his wedding in like May.
Yeah.
So like there's a lot of people who I'm going to weddings now from college, like because we're all extremely close. We stuck around with each other. So it's like. I also understand why people sometimes don't like it because the social aspect can be very daunting.
Sure. Yeah.
Not for the three of us, really, because we are very outgoing. me more than you two, kind of, in a sense,
Sure.
in a certain aspect.
A
But
little bit.
I
Anyway,
just, chill. Hold up. Back up.
Are we taking back what we just said?
rewind.
Just gotta rewind a little bit. I said a little bit. But
All right. Rewinding. What's up? Go ahead. Go.
I said a little. I'm more social a little bit more than y'all on that aspect of
Sure.
me being social wasn't daunting. I always wanted to go do something every single day.
Yeah.
And I still am like that. And that's why for nowadays where quarantine's hard for me, because I'm always like, who wants to do something after work? Who wants to do something this weekend? Like I was always doing something, whether in college I was practicing with my team, going to get lunch with friends, going to movies, going to bars, or doing anything. Could be anything in the world. Like that's what we like. That's what I love to do. So I never found that getting there as a freshman scary or whatever. I was up till 4 or 5 a.m. every night with people in my
with
dorm.
your group, the group that you clicked with, and you just like you
exactly.
all, became
There was
real
like
close.
15 or 20 of us.
Yeah.
It was nuts. But that's why I was like, yeah, I agree with Jeff where the social aspect was.
And then that also with
learned
that
a
social
lot.
aspect, because you had so many people from different backgrounds coming in, you get a person who likes cars and all that. You get just someone else's interest, so you get a little different point of view on some of these
Correct.
things.
Because in high school, you become very comfortable with who you know.
Yeah.
You become very comfortable with your people around
known them
you.
for years.
Where in college, it's like no one's there. You don't know like for me, I went
you
to
might know a couple people just because they might have
again,
gone to your
if
high
you
school.
went to the same high school kind of thing, or anything like that, or just like someone happened to be a mutual friend kind of thing. It's like you for one time. It's like a one-time thing where you happen to meet them, and like what do you know? What happened to meet in the same school kind of thing. Or I'm just making that up, but and again, I had that where like. And I'm sure everyone did, where it's like at first, and unless you actually know someone who's going to that school, and I know there's like the Facebook group chats and everything like that, where it's like, oh, class of 2018, everything, where you all join as freshmen and whatnot on the Facebook group, and kind of just like all kind of chat and get to know each other kind of thing. Even that, but like you still have to actually meet them in person, or just like meet your people.
Yeah.
And once
I was in one. I never used it ever.
I mean, I think the only time I really used it was like just browsing just to see like people who had like common, any other communication or broadcasting majors, for example, or just kind of get to know other people, like, or maybe help trying to find myself a roommate, kind of thing at first. And again, like once you actually get to the university and experience and campus in general and really experience it, you really get to like understand, like, again, like you guys said, like what kind of person you become, and believe it or not, like, because it was funny. I had someone who I become friends with freshman year, and like every couple months, like, you have no idea how much you've changed. Like since then, I'm like, no, I do know how much I've changed because it's me. I'm living my life, So I like.
Are you
So I understand how much I've changed since freshman year. I'm sure outside you guys could see it. Maybe not a whole lot, but like when I mean change.
Yes, we know what you're saying. Yes, you've become
become more mature, and everything like
mature.
that.
They're in air quotes.
Mature, sorry, mature.
Mature, exactly.
I don't really
know.
I
get that.
This means.
Definitely, we don't know what this means. I know I get that
Sorry.
because definitely, like when like fortunately for me, I found my group extremely fast. Like,
Same.
Yeah.
The second day I was there.
First day for me.
Because first day, second day, whatever. Because I was
summer session,
part of a team.
Just went from there.
Oh, yeah. I didn't have a summer session. I would went straight.
He's too smart. Hence why he's going to grad school.
Yeah, he was too busy on his studies.
Like, my team. Like I went to like a practice, met them for like 20 minutes, and then next thing you know, they're inviting me out with them. So I found my niche pretty fast.
Yeah.
Well, I found my sports niche pretty fast. And I stuck with them for a while. And I was able to then branch out into other groups, my dorms, my class friends, and all other stuff. So it's I understand. I can in the end, I can understand it's a daunting task to go in.
Yeah.
And it's also even worse leaving.
Right. Yeah. And I'll be honestly one of the first people to ever tell you, like, if you're struggling in class, or whatever, or just like in college in general, like, to put in perspective, after my first semester, I was this close to saying I'm done. I'm not going back to college. The only thing that kept me going back was I said I want to say I got 1 year of college underneath my belt. Then that's it. I'm done. But then for whatever reason, before that I was back in class in the fall, and I did a little bit better that first semester in the fall for my sophomore year. And then I thought, okay, let's give it one more semester.
I'm almost 20. I'm almost 21. Let's get that college experience.
Yeah, but again, and each semester I just said, all right, take a semester. Don't look at it as you have 3 more years left.
Mm-hmm.
Take it semester by semester. At any point in time you say you're done.
Forget about those student loans you have to pay back later. Forget about those.
Yeah, we'll get to
You'll
that
spend the rest of your 20s and later in life having to deal with that.
But no, for me, like it took a lot to really kind of slow down and say, like, look, like, and I even had a long talk with my parents before I went back for my spring semester. I said, look, I really hate it. Like, I'm not doing well, and just I'm really struggling. But like, luckily, I was able to find a good system that worked for me, most importantly, and literally from that moment on, like every beginning of every semester, I went to every single one of my professors, try to get to know them on a personal basis, say hi, like, just I want to let you know, I want to try to get to know you on a better level, like, again, like first name basis kind of thing, like, because again, like when it's crunch time and you need like that little extra push, like let's say if you really need like just a passing grade, and the professor, and you show that the professor that you're trying your hardest and whatever, like 9 times out of 10, as long as they see that effort there and that they know you're trying and working your ass off and actually going to them for help, they'll help you out. They'll boost you and say, like, look, I know like this isn't your best class, wherever. I know you're trying. We'll get you to a passing grade just so you can get done with this class. Not worry about it. I've had that happen before, and again, I've never been so more grateful before in my life. Like those professors that really helped me out, because there's definitely a couple classes that weren't my favorite, and I really really struggled. But my professors, like they saw the effort I gave and said, like, look, like, obviously, like it might not be good enough for like what kind of grade you're looking for. As long as you're, I can at least give you a passing grade, of course, because again, like I would do, extra credit, I would, show up to the study sessions, everything like that, office hours, and I would go above and beyond. And professors, they saw that, and
you're a better student than I was. I just aim for passing. Here. Just aim for passing.
But again, and that's why, because after like my first year, I was basically at that point, I was like aim for passing, because going in, obviously everyone, like I want to get a really good GPA and graduate, a solid GPA and everything. But after a certain, my first year alone, I was like, God, it's literally just get a freaking passing grade. And I had to work all my way up just to really get even a decent enough GPA to graduate with, because I struggled that much in the beginning. And every semester I kept getting a little bit better. And it got to the point where I was just like, I got to, figure out, again, a good system that worked for me. And luckily I was able to find that out, at the right time and really hit my peak, and was able to actually graduate. The fact that, again, something I never thought that was even possible for me to graduate from college, because again, I didn't know if college was the right thing for me or not, especially after my first semester alone. I thought, this is it, and I'm done. But the good news is, graduating in 4 years, and the fact that I even have a degree sitting right next to me, is something I'll always be so proud of. And the fact that, again, something I don't think I ever would have imagined even graduating, So it's such a humbling experience, all in all.
Mm-hmm.
Jeff definitely had a different aspect of that than me.
Yeah, he did. Yeah,
Jeff, because like that thing, I didn't do well because I made my social life my priority, not school. So I would miss classes. I would leave class early. I wouldn't do as well on exams because I was doing whatever it was with friends. I wouldn't study.
There were classes I skipped just because I was going to meet with friends and stuff. It's like, I got a class.
That's what I did. So my social life went here, and my college went here. So my academics were in shambles because of my social life. Mm-hmm. So I had to do the opposite of Jeff. I had to learn how to reel myself in to study, because I know I could.
But again, I just and that's kind of where I'm sorry to cut you off, but that's kind of where I was coming from. Because again, my freshman year, that was literally what you're describing right there. That was me. I had to really, again, it was all about going out, dating this one girl at the time, and I spent a lot of time on the radio station. I had to really, really, really adapt and figure out, okay, like, look, you got to cut back on going out. You got to cut back the social time. You got to hit the books more and really say. So like during that next semester, things got so much better for me instantly. And I thought, okay, this is getting better. Let's see where this goes.
I think that
and
also
again,
helps.
It was such you had to really like change, be willing to change, honestly.
What helps Jeff, is that you knew what you wanted to do. So as you got further into college, you were taking more courses of what you wanted to do. And because of that,
the other thing, not everyone knows what they want to do going to college. Again, some people don't. And again, I think I don't know if it's the same for every college, but some colleges, and I know mine was like this, you had to have a major by, I think, junior year.
Same. And I think most are like that.
I think most are like that. But, because again, but that's why you take the gen eds, because especially if you go in as undecided, you don't know what you want to take, and it's helped to steer you in the right direction of, okay, what are your interests and everything.
Yeah. That's
for
why
me, I've always known what I wanted to do since freshman year in high school. Was be a sports broadcaster, and obviously I know how extremely competitive it is. No, I'm not doing it right now, but I'm putting that on hold until I, again, I
technically have this podcast. Technically,
there you go. See, Whitmer.
Just saying that technicality is.
You're not wrong. Yeah, but again, and we're all getting ready to quit our day jobs tomorrow, right, boys?
Yeah, obviously.
Will this pay for my master's program?
Sure.
Bring it up
immediately, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Maybe
the second year.
I'm cool with it.
Maybe the second year.
I need a guarantee now. Need to get that guaranteed cash up front.
Mm-hmm.
And he also needs to see it.
Yeah. But no, all in all, though, there's, again, not many people know what they want to do going to college. I was very lucky and fortunate enough to know what I wanted to do and what I had a passion for. And again, it's such a grind, and you gotta, it's, I don't know if you guys knew what you wanted to do when you were first in college. I kind of did,
because I knew
I'm going to do what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I felt my
you're undergrad, Brian, not grad.
I felt my only my only real strength.
I went in with the major.
Okay, there we go.
No, sorry.
Let the man talk.
I'm sorry. Jeff asked me a question.
I'll let him talk. I'll let him talk.
Jeff. No. Whitmer, go.
No, it's too late.
No, Whitmer, no.
You already cut him off. It's too late.
It's like we're at a stop sign. It's like, no, you go. No, you go.
Fine, I'll go. Fine, I'll go. Yes, Jeff, I did know it. I went in as a marketing major. I knew what I wanted to do, and I didn't stick with it. I went to PR in the end after my first semester in my first year. But I'm going to get my master's in marketing. So I've always had the same trajectory. I don't know the word.
Yeah, right. Correct.
Trajectory.
A+.
Trajectory. All right, cool.
Trajectory.
Pronounce that wrong. Pronounce
he pronounced it wrong. Jeff pronounced it wrong.
We just, and the right pathway. The right pathway. Right pathway. So I started off marketing, went to PR, and now I'm going back to marketing. So I've always had the same aspect of what I want to do in the future. My goal has not changed since I went to college, since I went as a freshman. My goal has been the same.
Mm-hmm.
Has not wavered, just taking a little bit different path than what I thought I would. But it has not changed.
That's also just life. Life just makes you have to adapt and just figure it out.
Exactly. That's the name.
Exactly.
Whether it's Jeff and figure out, all right, one more year, one more semester, or if it's that, you know what you want to do, and just try to get to that point.
Correct. So